Alright, I want to turn off the shaking condition.
We have Craig.
He never left.
Okay.
Craig just hangs around.
It's that friend that you can't get to go away.
You say bye like 6 times and still waiting on them to leave.
Like, I didn't want to be
dad?
rude, but you're forcing my hand.
God, getting my dad to leave a party is a 2-hour process.
Oh, really?
He will not stop talking. Whereas me, I'm like sitting at the door to leave.
You're
I'm
halfway in between the door.
watching, just like watching TV, waiting for him to actually walk out.
The question is, though, do people enjoy the conversation, or do they want him to leave?
Well, it's mainly when this is happening, it's with his family, so they, it can be either or.
Depends on if it's a holiday or not.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Dad always talking about politics.
It's strange because I can usually like pick up on when everyone's ready to like part ways after a conversation, but like no one will just say it. So like we still just hang around and we all do the well, but like no one actually walks away.
You know, the worst part though is like, so like you're stumbling through that, and everybody knows you want to leave. Because you both say like well, I guess I gotta get going, and then you start on another topic.
Oh yeah,
and then you're like, oh, why did we do this? Both parties are like, why? You can just see it in their eyes. I thought we said we were gonna leave.
Right. Start looking at your watch.
Start jangling your keys, looking at your watch, saying like, well. How much time left on this earth? I better get going. Something, anything.
Just falls out.
Fortunately, nobody does that with our podcast. They love us hanging around for as long as possible, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Audience, what say you? We're just gonna go.
That was a resounding yes.
We're just gonna go with that improv yes. You can't say no. It's improv.
Yeah. Yes, and. Non-stop.
So this is fun, right? Like, we don't usually get to record like when the sun's up.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to do. This is amazing.
Something feels off. It feels like we're more productive than what we should be.
We still wasted the same amount of time.
I know.
I don't think we even started recording an hour after we said we were going to start recording.
Not.
Yeah, that's pretty much standard operating procedure around here.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, I like this. Hopefully this turns out really well. And
I'm curious if people like who've been listening for a while can tell the difference.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please let us know.
That was a good day. Nope, that was not a good day. And then the ones where we have to record half and half and put it into one episode, they're like, what? Something's off, but I can't tell.
That's never happened. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, just kidding.
Oh, gosh, that's the worst. I was making my stupid lightsaber movie back in college, and we shot most of the movie, and then there was this scene where I needed to do a voiceover, and I got the actor to do the voiceover, and I paired it together, and it's just like, he goes from like, fully energetic, and then he's like, and so then I was walking around and it was very I'm like, dude, we need to redo this. Like, it's just terrible.
Yeah, it's a testament to how good actual like movie directors are with that kind of thing, because sometimes you'll hear a voiceover and you have no idea that it's a voiceover.
Yeah,
I like to watch ellipse and see
ADR,
if it's exact.
that's the word I was looking.
Yeah. I think it's a testament to how awesome we are with how great our podcast is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Top of the line.
And if you really like it, you can go to patreon.com / / Adventure Awaits Podcast. What is our link? I don't even know.
I was going to say great
try
segue.
Every slash.
Just try all the slashes.
Take 2.
So let's just jump right back into it. We had a little bit of sandstorm, fun in the desert combat.
Fun?
I don't know. What was your impressions?
I mean, I had fun.
We got a little injured.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get injured, but I
That's
also
fun.
didn't love that creature.
If I had to sum it up into 2 words, it would be bad kitty.
Let's retroactively change the title of that episode to Bad Kitty, since we already put it out. I enjoyed it because I love the fact that Des was like, "No, I'm scared," because that was exciting. Like when you're actually afraid of the combat in some way, and not just bored with it. Like, I know it's going to be a good combat, and then the reaction that we got from Kevin when he was like, "What the fuck? This thing just shot back at me." Like, there was some like real fear and weight to the creature, and not just like the standard like, "Oh no, here's another baddie." So I thought that was kind of fresh.
Yeah.
And anything against Starship combat. Oh, do we need to stop beating that dead horse? So this is I think it was good combat. And then, but Kalos took some pretty serious hits. You guys decided to camp for about 10 minutes and recover. And then right as you're getting ready to head towards the city, you look up on this bluff, the sand dune here. I don't want to say that it's like, 100 feet up in the air. It's not really that far up in the air. And you may have been able to run up the dune in the last combat, but the amount of effort it would have taken to, in like 6 seconds, like you weren't climbing that wall. So this isn't like a sheer drop, but it is very steep. But you look up, it's probably about, 30 feet, 40 feet up. You see this party of humanoids. They are essentially humanoid beetles. They're holding these rifles in their hands, like kind of pointed down at rest towards the ground. They're dressed very simply, have a cape, have some goggles on, carrying like these old looking backpacks, and they're just standing there observing you. Let me go ahead and give you an image of what they look like here.
So you know how you said there was a sandstorm? Well, we might have some ambiance in our mics of an actual storm.
Ooh.
So if y'all hear some thunder, that would be why. Also, if we suddenly have to stop, or you guys stop hearing from us, it's because the power went out.
And let's give it up for Sirenscape. If you would also like some atmosphere.
What I love is how Sirenscape actually brings the sounds to nature with the actual storm.
They just change your actual weather.
Yeah.
Oh, bug people?
Yeah, so you're dealing with like these bug people. They're like white abdomen, like kind of like a dark olive green, like rest of their body, and
they look like cockroaches, but they're standing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, Al, you have lots of...
Eve.
Yeah.
Steven.
Chris said they looked like humanoid beetles, and now in my mind they all sound like the Beatles.
Oh, I think we have
That's
hail.
It's hailing.
That's fun.
All right, Sirenscape. Maybe we don't need this.
So you're standing there and you see these creatures up on this dune, basically like looking down at you. What do y'all do?
Before we interact, can we make some checks on these guys to see if we recognize the species?
Yeah, do it.
And what kind of check would that be?
I figured probably culture. Like, is there a nature or something?
Survival?
I have survival, but
I don't think that would make
I thought
sense.
there was.
Yeah, do it's life science.
There, that's what it was.
That's the word.
I don't
don't
got
have
that.
it.
I don't think any of us have. Wait, Albert?
Under skills?
Yeah, you
Nah.
definitely do not.
No, not at all.
What can I learn from profession accountant?
What about profession smuggler?
I can
Could I
really
have-
figure out where their money's going, and
I have profession bug.
Bug wrangler.
It's very specific.
Yeah, I don't think anyone of us is going to
Yeah.
be really
We're not
able
going to be
to
helpful.
idea.
It doesn't look like.
So I just kind of wave, like a slow one-handed
I'm gonna
wave.
be like- Put my hands up
yeah,
because they have rifles.
like surrender.
So yeah, you wave to them.
I'm
And-
just putting my hands up.
Okay, so you like put your hands up, and they seem to wait, like they kind of like nod back at you, but they're still holding on to their guns. They're like they have them kind of like point like at the ready, but off to the side.
I motion for them to come here.
I'm gonna like yell something like, "Do you understand us?" in a common or is that what that is?
Yeah, common.
Is it common in this system?
Let me ask you this: do you still have your weapons?
I didn't
mean,
have
I
any
have them.
Are
weapons
they
in my hand.
out, or have you holstered them?
Well, when I
Holstered.
put my hands up, I feel like I holstered them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shot's
we took a 10-minute.
Yeah, we did take a 10-minute
I'm
rest.
Assuming we didn't like
Okay.
sit there with our guns out the whole time,
Okay. So
pointed at each other.
who's next?
This is how we rest.
Maybe we can learn how to deflect laser shots.
So you see them like chitter chatter amongst each other, and like they kind of like make some kind of gestures, but you don't really understand what they're doing. But they begin to bolster. The one in the front begins to very slowly lift up one hand, and she takes the rifle in other hand and reaches around her back and holsters it in place. And they begin to kind of make their way down the perimeter of the bluff to get down to you. Everybody else in the entourage is still holding onto their weapons, and they make their way down, and they get to within about 20 feet of you. The leader standing closest to all of you, and she like gestures to herself, raises a hand, and is like, "Ooh."
Oh boy.
I put one finger up and I get our robot out.
Yeah, our drone that has the translator.
Okay.
We need, 10 minutes?
Is that what
Yeah.
it was?
Okay, so I hold up 10 fingers, and after each minute, I drop one finger.
Okay, so this is what's actually going to happen: is I'm going to hold take the drone. I'm going to do like a talking motion with my hand, and then I'm going to hold up a terminal that has like a 10-minute timer.
Okay.
Oh wait, they wouldn't be able to read that probably. That doesn't make any sense. But I'm trying to think of a. But like, yeah, I'm gonna be just like a motion of like talking, and then like a point to the ear or something like that. Maybe that'll make them understand
Okay.
what I'm trying to get across.
I think. I mean, yeah, we can't speak each other's language, but we just need to keep them talking. So, like, Kayla's sticking to his starship captain role is going to just step up and like point to himself and be like, "Kayla's." Like, I don't know if what she was saying is "I am this weird bug noise," but that's what I would assume an introduction would start this meeting off, right?
Yes. Yeah, you notice that she just pointed to herself and then made this sound.
So Kayla's repeats, but says his name instead of a bug.
And you hear like some clacking of the mandibles as she's like trying to respond. Give me a diplomacy check.
17.
Okay, so you're trying to carry on a conversation, and at some point She seems to feel comfortable enough to step a little bit closer to you. As this creature begins to move a little bit closer, you notice like the other ones are still a little uneasy. They hold on to their weapons, kind of at the ready still. And you guys carry on a conversation for, next several minutes. All this time, like...
Tim Allen's there?
So yeah, you converse long enough for this device to start to begin to pick up bits of the phrases. Anybody who can do a culture check, give me culture.
I don't think anyone can.
Culture, you said?
Culture.
Hey, guess what I can do?
Ooh.
I can roll a 22 on culture.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I
You're
got a
good.
+7.
Can I help them with their finances, Chris? Profession accountant.
Hold on, let this gotta sweeten the deal before they're gonna go on a date with you. So Pax, this language sounds very familiar to you, and you recall that back when you were first entering the system, it shares a lot of similarities to the warning that you were getting from the orbital defense platform.
Right.
That's an interesting tidbit of
It's
information.
similar, but not exact.
So it's very similar. However, what you're hearing now is a lot more guttural compared to like
They probably used a robot AI to mimic their voice, so it kind of sounds like them, but it's not them, kind of thing.
yeah. So yeah, you finally get to the point where the tetrad device starts to translate a little bit, and it. Are you friend?
Yeah. if you, sorry, I gotta do my Kalaw's gritty voice. Yeah, if you want to be friends,
Would like that.
then
Give me-
friends.
Give me another diplomacy.
Can we aid in this diplomacy?
Yep.
Aid me.
I don't.
Did I roll anything?
Yeah, you roll d20 and then add your diplomacy and try to get above a 10.
I aid.
Having troubles there, Al?
Uh,
Did you roll a 1?
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
He doesn't help. Unless you got a +9 in diplomacy.
Nope.
I think you have a +0.
Yeah, +0.
Okay, so I have one aid.
Yeah, me and Cha are very helpful.
It's pretty good. So with my aid, my diplomacy is a +8. I have a 25 diplomacy.
So this creature steps forward and kind of face to faces with you, and says, "The device, friends," and then they point to the creature lying next to you. Impressive.
I've seen meaner cats than that.
I used to own one.
My wife.
They point to you and say, impressive, formidable,
No,
strong.
I'm not a cat.
So they begin to nod. The other creatures with her put their rifles away, and they all start chattering to one another. She turns around and nods and beckons you to follow them.
All right, we follow.
Yeah. We
Go.
follow.
It follows.
New friends.
We also have a bug man.
How fortuitous. So, you begin to follow them. You notice that you're moving in the opposite direction from the city, heading towards some other like sand dunes, bluffs.
Away from the city?
Yeah. And after about half an hour of walking, you come to one of these more prominent bluffs, and you begin to walk towards it, and you notice that there's like a hollowed out like opening in the side of one of these things. Inside of this opening, you see that there's dozens of other creatures like this, beetle-like aliens. They're crawling in and out of a whole bunch of different caves that dot the face of the of this cliff. Most of them, they're dressed in like simple leather. A few of them have crude weapons covered with sturdier armor. You've also noticed that there's a small garden filled with some very sickly-looking plants off to one side, and it seems like it's situated next to what looks like the opening to a well. There are a handful of children sitting in front of a pair of older bug creatures. These two are wearing brightly colored necklaces, and they appear to be either telling the young ones a story or teaching them some sort of lesson. As the group approaches, the whole enclave lets out a friendly cheer, and then it quickly dies off once the rest of them notice your party. You see the leader of the hunting party quickly stride up to the two well-dressed bug creatures. They begin to have like this animated conversation. You know, you hear the clacking, the Tim Allen.
Will our little droid tell us what their dispute is about?
They've kind of, you were left kind of like at the entrance. They've made their way a little further back. So
Yeah, the only noise it's making is it cheering in that language.
yeah. So they're kind of speaking in hushed tones. You can't really pick up what they're saying with the translator from this distance. But you see that after the leader begins to talk to these two well-dressed bugs, the other two begin to shatter back quickly, and they gesture for you to come closer.
Yeah, walk forward.
Yeah. Approach. We approach the bench.
With the drone in front of us.
So you move in, and they kind of like look over you, and they're kind of trying to like, it seems like they're assessing, it's kind of sizing you up to see what you're all about. And they sit there quietly waiting to kind of see what you're going to do.
That's a good question.
I, as a show of good faith, do all of their taxes.
You notice, like, while Kayla's like gets out like a piece of paper and starts jotting numbers down. You notice like people are starting to take notice. Like, more of these creatures are starting to shuffle in, and remember, you're just like in the opening of this. There's tunnels that go further back, so this is kind of like the welcome area. Yeah. So like, what does anybody else do?
Well, you said there were like sickly looking plants. How are the actual like creatures? Do they seem like they're doing all right, or are they also kind of sickly?
I mean, for the most part, like, you can tell they're not like 100%. If you talked to any one of them, they might not say anything, because it seems like they probably just live this way for a long time. But yeah, I think, can you do culture, life science?
I cannot.
Okay.
21 culture.
Okay. Yeah, so kind of like with the more scientific, the culture examination of the situation, Pax, you realize that the general environment here and the condition of their garden, that food and water are like the most precious of resources.
Because of the sandy planet, yeah.
So I would say Anara, like on an instinctual level, you kind of pick up that maybe they're a little malnourished, but Pax definitely can see from the environment, scientific understanding.
Yeah,
that,
he like says that in like whispered tones is what he has seen.
Okay. Yeah. Anara, like, kind of takes a moment to look over everything and kind of gets that vibe, but she chirps up and she's like, "Hi, I'm Anara," and she extends her hand to try and shake this bug creature's hand.
Okay, give me a diplomacy.
11.
The two well-dressed bugs, they kind of like look at each other like back and forth, and they look at your outstretched hand. You can't quite seem to figure out what to make of it.
She kind of hesitates, and then she's like, "Oh, okay." And she makes like a little fist to try and fist bump him.
Yeah, they're not really sure what you're trying to do.
Oh, okay.
The hunter that led you here begins to speak and says, the translator, "Pay us favor so we may invite you in."
Did you pay us?
No, I'm sorry. Not pay. Pay us is not the right word, but like what favor do you offer?
Okay.
They want like a gift.
I feel like food would be.
Food or water? We have.
I have nothing.
Yeah, it came pretty light to this.
Al, you have some R2Es.
Use? Oh,
Those
yes.
are ready-to-eat type things, like beef jerky and shit like that.
Yeah.
You also have some fun stuff.
My R2Es, I got my little zip stick.
Zap.
Little zap zap.
It does 1 point of electrical non-lethal damage.
1 whole point.
Yep.
I mean, I'd be good for giving up one of my R2Es.
Yeah, they're not expensive to replace. They're like a credit. Yeah, I got nothing unless I want to give him my gun.
Yeah, maybe not.
I have 2 guns though.
I don't know how many R2E.
I
We're starving.
think we
Give us
gave you
your gun.
5.
5.
Yeah.
And I'm good for giving like 2. Do you guys have anything else?
No.
I don't know how much.
I don't have anything.
I have a spacesuit.
All right. Let me give
expensive.
Let me give 4 of these R2Es, and I'll give them my zip stick as well.
There you go. All right.
Chris, I take off my tie.
Whoa!
I give him the tie.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys each set down these gifts on the ground. And you see that these 2 well-dressed, older-looking bug creatures begin nodding like very quickly and talking to one another. And they pick up the food. They have some of the children pick up the food. One of the kids picks up the tie and holds it up to the hunter and puts it around their neck. She bows appreciatively towards you, K-Laws.
Business casual.
Her head turns
Cat
to the
lizards will not attack.
her head turns to the side, like curious. And then they begin to. The 2 older ones invite you further into the cave. As you begin to move away, one of the kids picks up the little zip stick and begins to play with it. Maybe shocks himself, runs around, shocks a neighbor, and starts having fun. The kids start giggling. You can hear them laughing as they run around in the cave. You begin to make your way. The crowd parts for you, and the cave just really opens up, and you're in this cavernous space. And you can see there's like plenty of handholds leading up to other tunnels inside of the cliff. There's a large bonfire burning in the center of this whole space. It just illuminates this dark space, but it's also very stuffy as the smoke is contained within it. You can see what looks like to be the entire tribe converging around the fire. You can see that many of these creatures are carrying drums, assorted instruments made from stone. And then a few moments later, they begin to play some sort of stately tune. And the remaining creatures face each other. They form straight lines, and they begin to do some sort of formal processional dance. And you guys are watching as this line of people parts, and the hunter and her entourage begin to move through. It seems as though they're being celebrated as they have come back from the wilderness. What do you do?
I start dancing.
You start dancing. Okay. So Anara begins to dance. What do the rest of you do?
Josh shrugs and starts dancing too.
Okay.
This is what it's all about. And Kayla's also starts dancing. And it's very, embarrassing.
Okay. And then what about Pax?
He looks around and everyone's dancing, so...
Okay,
he does
so...
the classic Commander Shepard dance from Mass Effect.
Alright, so Anara, you just get right into it, and then everybody else follows you right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like it.
So when the rest of the tribe begins to notice that you're moving in, they all look surprised and excited and seemingly elated as you begin to do the dance.
Yes.
Okay, I need
Profession
a
dancer
culture check.
Oh.
I need a culture check or a perception check.
I'll do a perception.
Same.
Ooh, I'll roll poorly, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I notice nothing. Des notices nothing.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I noticed nothing. Probably it's a 5.
Okay.
11 culture.
Okay, and Cha,
A 6 perception.
6 perception.
Wow,
Okay.
we're dumb.
Works beautifully. The dice are playing along with what you guys have chosen to do.
I start throwing in new dance moves. At first I was just kind of redoing what they were doing. And then I do a shopping cart, a sprinkler. I go to throw a little whiz disc. No one's catching it, but I'm still having a good time.
Okay, so I'm going to need each one of you to give me if you have an appropriate profession check, an acrobatics check, and so those are your 2 options for participating in this dance. And I want everybody to describe their dance just as Des has done.
Okay.
24 acrobatics.
Oh my god.
You got a natural 1, didn't you?
It was a natty 1, so that's why no one's trying to play with me.
Okay. Cha, Kalos.
I got a 10 acrobatics. Cha goes tries to do a split with his 4 legs and lifts his 2 arms above his head and pulls back his antennae and wriggles a little bit as well.
Okay. What did Kalos get?
Can I argue that he's doing all accountant-based dance moves?
Yes,
Like
because
he's doing the calculator. He's doing the facts. All right. Then I got a 16.
Okay. The calculator and the facts. All right, so they initially see everybody begin to move in. They're all filled with excitement and elation. They see Inara, who leads the pack, bumble it and just look really awkward like Elaine from Seinfeld. They see Pax move in, and just as they're getting ready to look away from Inara, throw their hands up in the air, they're like, wow. And they just completely in love with the moves that Pax is twirling. Shaw comes in and immediately kills any buzz that Pax generated.
Oh, no.
And just when it looks like they're about ready to throw their hands up in the air, K-Laws comes in with the calculator.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
They have never seen dancing quite as wondrous as the facts before. And they all rejoice and they warmly embrace all of you in what seems to be some sort of like unofficial membership in this tribe.
I like how we all pretty much just did a diplomacy check by dance.
Hey, just wait till they see submitting your 1099s. It's going to blow their minds.
Oh, that's fun.
So you linger a little while. The party goes on. People are celebrating, begins to settle down. The hunter party has been heralded, and people are just enjoying company. You see what looks like to be families milling about, eating what precious food there is, talking in the background. You see the kids with the zip stick, just having a great time. And eventually, you notice that another one of these creatures, very strikingly different, steps into the firelight. She appears to be much thinner than the others and dressed in these fabrics that just shimmer and sparkle in the firelight. It is clear, however, that she has a few bandaged wounds, and the most striking feature of this creature is that she sports a pair of wings, unlike any of the other creatures that you've encountered. They are similar, but they are vastly different. This creature walks up to you and walks through any of the other, right through the middle of the crowd. All of the other bug creatures seem to show deference, respect, and she walks right up to you. She looks at all of you for a moment, and then she gestures to her throat and her mouth, and she raises her hand up, and it glows with an energy. And then with that hand, she points towards one of you. Let me get a dicey dice out.
I hope it's not me.
Why?
So she points to Shaw.
Oh.
Yeah, so she points to Shaw, points to your throat and your mouth, and just waits for your response.
Cha points to his throat, and then his mouth, and then he tries to sing.
Yes.
Yeah, give us a
sing.
song.
I'll have ChatGPT write your lyrics.
For friendship, for dancing, for the hive. Cruncher!
And then the robot translates
God.
it for you.
And it explodes.
She's holding her outstretched hand full of energy, glowing with energy, and she's holding it towards your throat and neck and says, "Please allow."
Oh,
this."
Okay.
she has the spell that we're looking for to let us talk.
I guess, yeah.
She puts her fingers in your mouth and says, "Please allow this.
Don't resist.
I need this."
Cha says yes, and yes, reaches out and takes the energy and then eats
I think
it?
she need. No,
Oh no.
I think she needs to touch your throat to cast
Okay,
the
so
spell.
yeah,
I
Cha.
like Al's version.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He's got like an energy apple, and he's just like,
Yeah, Cha walks up with his throat open, and he's like, yes, new friend, allow.
So she nods and gently touches your throat, and immediately you begin to hear the sounds of the creatures in the cavern begin to refine, and you suddenly understand everything that they are saying. She reaches over to Anara next with the same offer.
Yeah, she just shakes her head yes. And lets her do her thing.
So she again imbues this energy upon you, and she reaches another outstretched hand to Pax and makes an additional similar offer.
He runs away. No, he does. He lets it happen.
he says, "You'll never take me alive." And he shoots himself.
And then she goes to reach towards Kalaz and begins to have this energy coalesce in her hand, and it sparks and fizzles out. And she tries again and again, and like a
She
lighter
only
that
has
just
3.
won't light, she cannot cast another spell.
Here,
And she-
Pax goes to kiss him. That's how it works, right?
No.
And she seems to shrug her shoulders apologetically towards you.
I quit.
Oh no.
They'll translate for him.
Of all the people, Alex, I thought, man, he's got to be included in this as kind of like the de facto leader. And of course I roll and you're not selected for it.
Yeah, it checks out.
So after this awkward moment, she turns to the rest of you and addresses you as a group, and she says, "You are unlike any other people I have ever met. Possibly the same is true of you for me. We have much, each one another. I will happily..."
What's she saying?
Well, you would still understand the with the robot, right?
Yeah, but it's like broken
Oh, yeah.
versions of what they're saying.
Yeah, Kalaz gets like, strange people, I'm strange, learn from each other.
Yeah, so, like, realizing that he didn't get that spell cast on him, Anara quickly, like, fills in the gaps, like, super quick and quietly towards Kalos after everything she says.
And he's like nodding, and then he turns and smiles really big at the queen.
I will happily answer your questions as best I can, but I must ask, are you? Where you from? What is it that you want?
We are Starfinders from Absalom Station. We were sent here. It's another planet in a galaxy far, far away. No. How far away are we? Like, it's another. We're in another. We're not in the Pact worlds right now, right?
No, you're in the vast. Yeah.
We're from a planet. We've traveled here for. Was it 2 months?
I think it was 2 weeks.
2 weeks. We were sent here because one of our friends was attacked out here. We were sent to investigate.
You are not from this planet.
We are not, no.
Would certainly explain your strange indifference. Mind you, I need no insult, of course, but you are quite different from any life forms I've encountered.
Hey. He just heard strange appearance.
Yeah, Anara kind of chimes in a little bit. Why are you, if you don't mind me asking, I'm surprised to see you aren't within the city limits. Why do you choose to live out here?
What is your name, little one?
Hi, I'm Anara. And she tries to shake her hand again.
Anara. She reaches out a little bit confused at first, but then you kind of lead her the rest of the way, and she smiles and nods and shakes your hands. I do not live out here in the wild, child. I am from the city, but I've been afflicted with a severe case of wanderlust. Near terminal, it would seem, as my explorations outside of the city found me stumbling into a tangle of sore nettles. They scratched me quite a bit, and, well, thanks to the pain, I've lost my way. But luckily for me, I crossed paths with these kind husks who bandaged my wounds and gave me a place to spend the night.
You said the husks?
Oh yes, husks. All the creatures that you will see here are known as husks. Those that are like me, we call ourselves the membranes.
Membranes. It's definitely a first.
Our two peoples live in vastly different environments. And, well, they've had to adapt, you see, to living out here in the harsh environment. And so, while they are much sturdier than I, however, retain the power of flight. So, it's all in how we were raised, if you will. Tell me, what can I... Are you planning on going towards the city?
What? Why are we here? We're just here to make contact?
Make contact, figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Find pirates.
Find pirates. Gather information.
I guess we want to ask, like, who, if she knows who controls those ships.
Yeah.
The ships. Nobody really controls anything that deals with computers around here. It is all automated by the central devices. Forgive me, I'm not very good with this sort of thing. The mainframes in the city. It controls all of the technology that makes our lives possible. As far as anything up beyond the atmosphere, that nobody has struck out from this planet as long as I can remember. There are, of course, the tales of time before when we visited the stars, but it hasn't been in quite some time.
Understood.
So who runs the city?
Well, there's a council, of course, that runs the city. I actually am well acquainted with them. Of course, I'm not in any sort of official capacity, but I am in an advisory position within the city council, and certainly if you are willing to take me to the city, I would gladly get you an audience with them. Perhaps they could answer some of your questions. But I really would like to return home.
Are they these membranes that you speak of?
Yeah, well, of course, yes. All that live in this city, of course, are those of my kind, the membranes, and the husks. They remain out here in the wastelands.
And what about that dog in the background? Do you hear that?
It's a strange creature that always seems to show up when you don't want it around, and then when you want to play with it, it never wants anything to do.
I know what you mean.
Kalos is like kind of skulking to the back of the group at this point, just like trying to focus in on the communicator thing, but he's only getting like simpler words, so he's having a harder time following along. So he's just like not in on this.
Did we actually get her name?
Oh, forgive me, dear. My name is Clarima.
I'm sorry, did you say Clarima?
Clarima. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Can you spell that for me, Chris?
Klarima.
My name's Pax, by the way.
A pleasure, of course.
So, yeah, after we, do our official greetings, Anara's like, yeah, we'd love to help you out and take you to the city. If you could actually take us to the council as well, or maybe help us meet them to learn some more information, that would be really nice.
It would be my greatest honor, dear, to escort you to the council.
I did have one question, though. You mentioned getting scratches. What from, again?
Oh, those are saw nettles, my dear. They're just saw nettles. It's just a dangerous piece of local flora. Razor-sharp weeds that can catch the winds. Don't fear, they aren't too hard to avoid unless, of course, you've got your head in the clouds. And you can, see her smile and shake her head at herself.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure what to look out for. And what do they look like again?
They are small little blades, brown. They're no larger than, say, a finger. And, but they're very hard to see in the wind. But you learn to catch them. And if you will protect me as we journey across the sands, I will be sure to look out for them for you. I'll even teach you, my dear.
Oh. Okay, yeah, of course. Well, if you've got everything you need, I'm ready to go now.
Yes, absolutely. Although it is getting a little bit late, we could always travel in the dark if you will, but we do have the opportunity to stay here and rest the night if you would prefer.
You guys want to sleep?
Sleep would be nice. I go over to relay this to Kalos.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I could go for a nap.
Sleep.
Sleep. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
So first thing in the morning.
Very well, dear. The two elders will see to it that you have pleasant sleeping arrangements. They are Brother Cosimo and Sister Alamir. They are the leaders of the colony here. They will take very, very good care of you. They were very impressed by your offerings, and so I'm sure they will get you the finest sleeping arrangements possible.
I got a question. Does she speak the same language as the husks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you ask her, she lets you know that their collective people are called the Jabrani.
Jabrani. Hey, you jabroni.
Cool.
I don't know how that's spelled, but that's how I'm spelling it.
Jabroni?
So you all bed down for the evening?
That sounds like a plan.
Sleep over.
Oh, yeah. When we get back to our ship, it's sunken into the sand.
So you bed down for the night, get up the next morning, you're heading out,
Night's rest.
and in the morning, as you begin to leave with Clarima, you get to the cave entrance. You see that Brother Cosimo and Sister Alamir are standing there, and they are holding a gift. And Brother Cosimo says, "You were kind enough to leave us with your treasure. And so now we shall return the favor." And he holds out a what looks like to be a rifle, similar to what the hunting party had.
Oh, it's a rifle that we can use for this mission and this mission only.
Do it.
So who takes it?
I'll take it.
Yeah,
So he hands it to you.
Boy.
I mean, technically, our bug man is
I already
also...
got. I'm pretty well equipped.
I would like to inspect said rifle.
Yep, go
Is
ahead.
there like a Pact Worlds equivalent? Or do we want me to roll on it or something?
I'd say it would be difficult for you to find out specifically, but kind of like just looking at it, you know, it's a long arm. Probably does a pretty significant amount of damage, which I can give to you, the player, Kevin. I just don't know how you would translate it into the PC's terminology. Because, again, everything that you've encountered here looks like it's similar to Pact World stuff,
Right.
like
It's
on
kind of
par.
like when we were on that city thing in book 4 of Dead Sons.
Yes.
Where nothing was like Pact Worlds, but it had a Pact Worlds equivalent that they used
Yeah,
to compare it.
yeah. I would have to look up that to give you something, because they don't give me an example in here other than just the stats of it. But, I mean, it does 1d10 piercing damage. Has the wound critical hit effect.
What
Nice.
level is it?
3rd level.
Damn.
Damn.
I will look that up. I might hand it to our bug friend, actually.
As Pax is checking this out, Sister Alamir pulls out 3 vials filled with a very dark, viscous-looking liquid, and she offers them up to the party.
All right.
I feel like
I guess they just don't have the number 4 in this culture.
Can we ask?
Yeah.
what's
What they
Fire
are.
Mac, what this is.
Sister Alamir speaks
Alamir.
up and it will take care of your wounds.
Oh, it's like a serum of healing.
Alright, well,
This will transport you to the starship that we're about to go on together into.
It's a serum of sex shift.
Kalos might need it more. I don't know if he's still...
Yeah, he's our melee man.
Okay.
Tosses.
I take all of them.
That's fine. I have 4 serums of healing, so I'm good.
Got some.
Thank you.
Safe travels. And you guys begin to head out. Clarima is going to lead you through towards the city in the distance. It only takes a few hours as you cross. The sun is beginning to rise, and as you draw much closer, you do start to see the shimmer of the force field. Clarima retrieves what looks to be like an ancient-looking data pad from her pack, and she presses a few buttons on it. There's a brief pause, and then nothing happens, and you can see a look of frustration come across her face, and she touches the same sequence of buttons on the device again. This time, a circular portion of the force field opens like a door. Clarima steps through and gestures for you to follow.
Nice. We all say nice when we go through.
Cool.
As you step through, she presses a button on her data pad. The force field closes again. And you approach the city. This strange-looking city, it just sparkles like a diamond, in stark contrast to all of the desolation around it. The city is bustling with activity. You see dozens of winged insectoid aliens going about their business, flying from one high doorway to another. The streets down below seem almost like an afterthought, used only occasionally by small automated machines. There's several overgrown flower beds and shaggy trees. They fill the space between the roads and hug the sides of the tall buildings. And the structures look sturdy, but you seem to find obvious patches of rust and other disrepair that indicate they haven't been very well taken care of. Clarima leads you through the streets, and most of the Jabrani citizens stop what they're doing and stare at you guys as you walk along. You hear a lot of chattering, a lot of clacking.
I just wave to them as we go by.
You wave. Some of them look disinterested, some of them scoff, a few of them wave half-heartedly back. After a short time, there's a small contingent of the membranes. They seem to be wearing formal armor, and they are carrying weapons that look like tack lashes. Anybody who has... give me a sense motive, or if anybody has profession, bounty hunter, or mercenary.
Not smuggler?
I'll give you smuggler.
Yeah.
I prefer the 18.
Speaking of 18, I did get an 18.
Yeah, 15.
I think I got a 4.
On your sense motive, you got 15?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, Pax, you're the only one that notices this. You see that these guards, they don't seem very comfortable with their weapons. Like, they're holding them, but it doesn't seem like they're trained very well in
Mechanically,
them.
they would be not proficient with them.
Correct.
Remember that and store it away in my brain.
Pax will remember this.
They begin to walk towards you very rapidly and approach your group very menacingly. I will see you next time.
Silly. But I waved.
Thanks to Sirenscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. Make sure to check them out at Sirenscape.com to use them in your game. Also, thank you to our patrons. You guys help us continue to do this, and we appreciate you. If you'd like to check out our Patreon or find more info about us, go to AdventureAwaitsPod.com.